want tonight. You will not kill my heart. Let me live my life, 'cause you won't kill my vibe. Yeah, 'cause I'm on one tonight. You will not kill my heart. Let me live my life, 'cause you won't kill my vibe. Come back.
Welcome to our podcast. I'd like to introduce Saffron Gray, that we're joined by today. Hi, Saffron.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. So could you just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm Saffron Gray, as you said. I'm a singer-songwriter from Nottingham, of course. And yeah, I've been doing it for about 5 years now. So I started writing from a young age. I know it's like cliche to say, but I've been writing from the age of like five, 6, 7.
Wow.
Then I was writing about like not wanting to wash up after my brothers and sisters. Like I'm, the older sister, I was just complaining at first, and then it just started turning into melodies and like just playing around with melodies. And my family are very musical. I grew up in the church, so if I didn't want to say something, I would just sing a song.
Yeah.
But yeah, started from a very young age with music, and yeah, so it's a bit about me.
Brilliant. So what do you do with your music at the moment?
So I've been releasing music. So I write my own music and releasing for the last 5 years. And I've pushed myself out there. I left my job in February this year to start, just pushing myself out there. It's all or nothing kind of vibes. And I started busking in March. So I've been doing that for a few months now. And yeah, just performing and doing festivals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Competitions, so yeah.
Great. So you actually came to our attention because of some busking that you were doing, and there was a particular incident that you experienced. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that? What happened?
No, of course. So that day, I believe it was like a Tuesday. It was always hard for me to get up and go out because, busking, no one's asking you to be there, first of all. It's like you choosing to go there, you are pushing yourself out there, I guess, and it's really nerve-wracking a lot of the time. And it was kind of late in the day, and I don't usually actually go later in the day for many reasons. But I decided to also go in a different spot. So just one of those days where I thought I would switch it up and again push myself to do something different. And I was outside, like across from Zara in city centre, and yeah, so I was there for probably about, I think I did one song. I was there for one song, and this man, he came. So people come and they stop, they pay attention, they will take videos, they'll drop money, or sometimes they just, say thank you for singing that song, whatever they feel. But this one in particular, he stopped directly in front of me, quite close, and he came a bit closer. So at first I think, is he going to rob me? Because that's like, I'm on my own. Which one do I grab first? My phone, my iPad, whatnot. And then I thought, let me just watch him. He was moving a little bit slowly, so I thought, okay. I asked him, what, are you okay? And he nodded. He wasn't speaking, he nodded. And then I was like, okay. So then I was like, do you mind moving a little bit further back, taking a few steps back? Because I felt a bit uncomfortable. And he just stared at me. I was like, oh, okay, this is different. So then I asked him again, do you mind moving back? And he literally, again, wasn't moving. So then I was looking around because it's difficult because I don't want to bring too much attention in terms of like negative attention, because already being a black female, me responding aggressively will only look bad on me, and at the same time I'm thinking about my career. So I was just like, how do you react to this? And so as I looked around, I think you'll see on the video, I'm like awkward laughing, like what do I do? And then this girl, she came to me, like she passed me actually, and she came back to see if I was okay, and then I was like no. And then it's like, I think another lady came and just asked me if I was okay. I was like, no, this guy's not moving, he's literally refusing to move. And I think he got a little bit aggravated that there was more people, so then he started pointing in my face. And then like in the video you'll see I'm just doing no, please don't touch me. But I was like nervous and like a little bit scared. I wouldn't say like petrified, but I wasn't petrified because he wasn't like harmful, but it was just uncomfortable and I didn't know what he was going to do next. It was something like that. So yeah, he was pointing in my face, and then it was like, please can you stop doing that? And then it just became a load of women just stood in front of me. There was one stood in front of me, one beside me. I think someone who passed earlier, she said she saw me on the TikTok live and said we need help. So she came back down with her mum and child, and then it's just like just a bunch of women just appeared. It came literally out of nowhere to stop him and move him away. But yeah, it was a very strange interaction, as strange as I've had so far. So yeah.
Can somebody help us, please? This guy will not go away.
Anybody? Yeah, no. He's not moving, and I'm asking him if he can move.
Please, you need to step back.
Just step back a bit for me, please.
You need to step back.
Could you step back for me? Just move away.
Away, please.
Maybe stand over there. Is that okay?
Oh, like, go away.
Oh my god. Thank you, girls. Please, could you step back for us? If
You're making everyone here uncomfortable. Can you go away?
That's all you can see.
Take one step back. Please don't do that. No. Can somebody help us, please? This guy will not go away.
What's your issue? Why are you standing next to them for? Can you walk away, please? Can you walk away, please? No, these girls do not want you here. Walk away. Look how many people are.
No, you are making everyone here uncomfortable.
Leave her alone. Run away. I know. Lady's working. Leave her alone. I've seen one now. Come on, mate. Excuse me, mate. Can you walk off, please?
What's it? We need to phone the police. You won't go away.
Oh my.
We need to go.
So how many people were there when it first started?
When it first started, it was just me. I was on my own.
Okay.
Yeah. There was, well, in that proximity, I was on my own. There were people standing there, obviously off camera. There was a man who was listening to me sing, and he seemed entertained, but he didn't move when this man was literally... Yeah. It's so hard to show because on the video, he's not in the frame, but literally right behind the camera, he was there.
Yeah.
So it's like... You know, he was that close, and people have come close to say nice things or say things and move away, but he stood there and it was just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, people were standing around and looking, but just not trying to get involved, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of just me. So.
And I'm assuming this isn't normally the reaction that you get
No, not at all.
when you're out there.
Not
So
at
it's
all.
quite unique.
Yeah, very unique, and it taught me how to behave in the future or what to do sooner. But yeah, I've just not been in that situation yet. Well, until that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you thought about if it happens again? What would you do differently?
So what I would do, I'd bring like an extra device for me to be able to call the police myself, or like just get some type of help, because I was scared to take the video off, that I didn't have proof of what was going to happen. The fact that I video anyway is for my own safety, because literally anything can happen. So before I set my video up just in case. So I was thinking, do I take that off, or could this just be harmless? I don't know, because again, never experienced it yet. And I just know that I'd need to shout on the mic, because I think that's what I took too long to do, because again I was skeptical of what he was going to do, and I'm skeptical of whether it was just a minor thing, because before people have come up to me and take the mic off me. Someone took the mic off me to sing. People have come close, but it's strange interactions, but not like, I don't know how to explain it, strange but harmless. Yes. So there are obviously loads of different kind of characters in City Centre, so you can imagine the type of interactions I do have, but that one was just strange because he was not moving and not talking, so, and then pointing in my face. So
yeah, there must have been a lot of sort of weighing up going on in terms of is he going to do something else, is he just going to stand there? And people might think, well, he was just standing there, like what was he doing? But
exactly.
I've got to show, I was in a similar position where I was waiting for somebody outside of a train station, and this guy came over and stood right behind me, and I thought, so I moved over, I just moved to a different space. He moved behind me.
Oh, you're joking.
And stood behind me. And I remember then I started looking around.
You would do,
and I'm thinking, can anybody not see what's going on? But it was really intimidating. And after about the third time, I remember feeling terrified.
You would though, naturally.
I thought terrified. I thought this guy could stab me. No one's going to know until I've fallen to the ground.
Exactly.
And I guess as a woman, we're always thinking about our safety.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we hear these stories, we see the news, we see what's going on.
Yeah.
So he might have just been standing there, but
then he might have
obviously
just
what
been
you
very-
were feeling
Yeah.
was more than just somebody standing in front of you.
100%.
Must have been a lot going through your mind.
There was a
at that
lot going
stage.
through my mind. I mean, I'm an overthinker already. So I was just like, I don't know, I've had negative comments. People come by and say, "Pack this up, love. You're not good." So I'm like, is he not happy with what I'm singing?
Yeah.
Like, is he not enjoying it? Because he wasn't smiling. There was no expression on his face. But it was just like, I was scared. And I thought, do I show that I'm scared then? Because then he will feel like he is intimidating me when he is, but I didn't want him to know that.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I react? Again, then thinking about the fact that I'm a black woman, and do I react like I can react? Or do I hold that back? Because then because he was also a black male, it would then just look like two black people having an altercation. Will anyone then help? And then I don't want to be aggressive and aggravate him. Will he then react if I do that? Like, would he then do something? There's a lot going on. Definitely a lot going on in my mind. Like, do I defend myself aggressively, I guess, or do I just kind of be polite? And I just took the polite route. But a lot of people in the comments are, even still till today, this morning, they're still messaging in the comments saying I should have done this and I should have done that. But it's just like, it's easy to say when you're not there and you're not in that, in that moment, because you can't. I could have acted differently, but I chose to act that way for many reasons. I was by myself at the end of the day for like at least 5-10 minutes before anybody came. So
And I think women are used to sort of having those multiple thoughts going through their mind, thinking about the different options and potential consequences if I do this and 100%. What if I do that. I think we're used to that, aren't we, as women? And especially as, women of colour. We're even more conscious of the stereotypes that people might have about
100%.
us. So what was it that prompted you to share this online? Because it, that's how we came across it, and obviously it's attracted a lot of attention.
Because I went home to my dad and I told him, and he said, "Do you have footage of it?" And he was like, "Post it, just post it." And I said, "Well, I don't want," because what I didn't want is to start like an argument or like a debate between genders, because that's what it became anyway. But it was more so like I wanted to show awareness from my experience of what actually happened. Because when I was explaining it to my dad, I was like, "Can you believe no man stepped in? Like, and there was men there." And he was like, "Really? No one?" So I was like, "Yeah." And I showed him the video and he goes, "This is great to show awareness. Show awareness. Look at these women standing in front of you. It's not even just black women. It's white women and it's mixed race women. It was amazing. It was an amazing moment even to look at how as women we even came together." So it was just so many different things that I was trying to show. But it was just encouragement from my dad mainly, like, post that. It's awareness. But I felt, looking back at the video, although it wasn't a necessarily nice experience, it was like I felt girlhood in that, and it was womenhood, and it was really nice to see. None of them women had met me before. One of them probably met me 5 minutes before that moment because she came and complimented the song I was singing, and then it was just like they literally came up one time. I wish I had a different angle even. It was literally one moment. So it was just mainly awareness that I posted it for, and it just became a different topic.
And it's obviously started lots of conversations, prompted a lot of debates.
It has,
It's interesting that women responded and men didn't. I mean, we always talk about empathy in our training. One of the main motivating factors that will encourage people to help other people is empathy. And I'd probably guess that, most of those women did what they did because they could understand what it feels like.
100%.
And maybe they've been in some of those positions themselves.
100%.
So they had that empathy. And maybe that was something that those men, maybe didn't think of. They could have. They could have thought, again, we always sort of encourage, men to think about, well, what if that was happening to your sister?
I've seen so many people say that in the comments as well. Like, if that was your, partner, if that was your friend,
if that was your mom, your grandma, like, anybody, what would you do? You'd want someone to do something.
Exactly.
But it's that lack of relating and empathy that sort of often stops people, isn't it?
100%.
So, I mean, when this situation started developing, did you have any expectations from other people that were around in terms of what you hoped that they'd do?
That's a very good question, actually. I think you'd like to think that, well, okay, let me start again. I'd like to think that because I would, that others would too, because I'm that type of person. I see someone crying, I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah.
None of my business.
Yeah.
But you're sad, and I don't like that, and I've seen that you're alone.
Yeah.
So I would ask, and that's just generally how I am in the girls' toilets. I'm like, oh, you look nice, or I'm just friendly.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that people would notice something if something's a bit off. I mean, sometimes it's a bit obvious, something's a bit off. And in that case, I'd like to think it looked very obvious from another perspective. But again, I wouldn't know. But I just like to think people would be kind enough to.
Yeah.
And I think that was my hope. But I didn't want to place an expectation on everybody, because essentially I chose to be there and nobody asked me to. And that's why I was thinking at the time, like, I can't then be mad at people for not helping because they didn't ask me to be there. I was there on my own choice. Yeah. But then it's like in the same breath, you know, there's a young woman there with a very tall, very intimidating guy standing right in front of her, and she's, I mean, if you can't hear me, I'm saying, can you move back so you can see that I don't want him there. So it's just like, but then again, I like to think of loads of perspectives. People are in their own world. They're probably rushing from work to work, children, whatever they've got going on. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I try to be fair.
Yeah. And again, you know, in terms of intervening, it doesn't often, you know, it doesn't always mean coming over, saying something to that guy or pushing him out the way. What some of those men could have done, you know, was maybe just be visible. Yeah. And just sort of let that guy know that they're there.
Yes,
and they're watching.
Yeah. It's so true.
So, I mean, if you were in this position again, and there are people listening to this, and they see somebody, they see, you know, maybe you, maybe somebody else, what would you encourage them to do? How would you encourage them to respond?
So people who are passing by, or the actual person that's going through?
People passing by that might see this. So if somebody listening to this sees a situation like yours that is developing, what would you encourage them to do? How could they help?
I think just as simple as, everything okay? Or maybe stop it if you've got the time to stop a few seconds and look at what's going on, and just ask, because that first lady asking me then encouraged me to say, you know, I do need help actually, because if she didn't ask me, then I would have tried to handle it on my own for my own reasons. So just as simple, is everything okay? Because there has been times where people are close and someone said, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm fine, yeah. And it's just a simple, just assessing the situation. Yeah. I think it could have just saved so much time and everything on that day, Yeah. But yeah.
We do a programme called Stand By Her, which encourages anyone to be an ally to women. You know, if they're experiencing any form of hostility, whether they're being belittled or whether it's, you know, a verbal assault or something. Yeah. And we say there's something that everyone can do. And actually, and you sort of, you know, said it, the women that did help out, did sort of like what we say, simple things. Actually, Are you okay? Checking in on you. You know, so we don't have to address the person and put ourselves at risk.
Of course.
We can check in with the woman that's affected, make sure that she's okay, make sure she's feeling safe.
Because there was a lot of talks about that actually in the comments about, you know, what if I step in and something happened to me? And which is a fair question, but it's just how you approach the situation, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be an aggressive response. I wasn't asking nobody to push him. I just felt like there was just no support in terms of like anyone actually asking. There was people looking and just walking by. And I generally just that's why I felt alone, because I felt like now I have to deal with it on my own kind of thing. So
Whereas even if you had a few people just standing there watching him, he would have known that he's being watched.
Exactly.
So he's got to be a bit careful about what he does. Makes you feel a bit safer because you know that you've got people that are witnessing what's going on. So, you know, intervening doesn't have to, you know, it can be quite simple. And it can just be showing even just a simple sign of disapproval, like... Like, you know,
like, this is not right.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You know, what's going on?
Simple
you know,
things like that.
So I mean, on our training program, we you know we try and make it easy for people. We try and encourage people, and yes, people do have concerns about, well, what if I say this, especially in a public environment where you don't know people. We always say, you know, on our training, we'd invite you to think about the consequences of not intervening.
Yes, 100%.
You know, because that's sometimes when it gets really serious. The women that did step forward and help, what do you think was different about them compared to the men that stood by and didn't help?
I think what was different was that they may have experienced it themselves. It felt like they'd seen it before, they've experienced it before, and maybe they didn't have that person that they was being for me. And it's not even, it seems that because after we was having a little chat and they was like, I hate when this happens. So they've experienced it themselves, and they was just literally, like you said, empathizing with it. So I feel like the difference is the fact that they wanted to be the person that they maybe didn't have, or they just wanted to be, I mean, you see it online anyway. It's not, my case isn't the only case that's been filmed. There has been other cases where, you know, women aren't being helped in those cases, in those situations. So they may have seen it. I think they were just advocates for just wanting to help, and be that help and be in that spot. So yeah, I think that was different about them.
Yeah. Do something that somebody else didn't do for them when they were in that position.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Have you busked again since then?
Oh yeah. I went the next day.
Okay.
I actually went back the next day because, and I'll tell you why, because a lot of people were like, did you go back? Same question. My motto is be scared and do it anyway. I was terrified. Get me wrong. I was terrified because he waited around to see if people would leave me. And they obviously didn't. So we called the police, and then we got the police. Police came. They did take a while, but they came in the end. They looked in the area to see if they could find him and couldn't. And he kind of like disappeared. So it's just that I don't know where he went. Yeah. Will he come looking for me again? Because essentially it was almost like he was fascinated with my face. I couldn't obviously show his face, but he was like, it was so weird. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. But it was just so strange. But again, I went back and I went in a different place. So again, I told you I was in a different place, position, because I wanted to try something new. So where I stand now, I stand where there's a lot of security. Okay. So I'm outside JD, across from Foot Asylum, and then there's Primark right across from me. Okay. And I've been doing it there before, but that time I wanted to try something new, just different area, different side. But I think one of the security guards had seen the video, and he was like, yeah, if you need us, we are here. He told me his name, right. And then he's pointed out everybody, because I think they're all mates. I think they just pass each other and say hi. So he told me the name of the guy from Foot Asylum. He told me that, you know, if you want to speak to somebody there, we'll look out for you, is what he said. Okay. So I go there now, and it's made me be a bit more mindful about like safety. So if I'm going somewhere, is there security around? Like, is there security in another shop that will be close by?
Or is there CCTV cameras?
Yeah. And there was a CCTV camera there. CCTV camera. Yeah. There, directly in front of me. I actually didn't see it. Okay. It's like I was saying to Nikita earlier. When I'm not focused on something, I'm going one place. I literally look in that place, and until the police said there's a CCTV for CCTV. I can't say the word.
CCTV. There was a camera.
There's a camera. Yeah. Just literally above me. Then it's when I'm like, oh, it was been there the whole time. So it's a good place to stand, but I felt like at the time I was there, it wasn't the best idea for a case like that. So I'm just looking more around like the surroundings, like how can I be helped if needs be. Yeah. So
it's made you more conscious about how you can be safer.
Yeah. So yeah, and like going earlier in the day as well, because it was later, and obviously now it's winter as well, so it gets darker quick. So yeah, just being mindful of those things.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, you've talked about a black woman being in this industry.
Yes.
Is this symptomatic of other experiences that you've had as you've sort of been developing this career?
So I would say naturally you're told as a black female coming into the industry that it is harder. For what reason, I don't know. It's not really specific as to why, but just other than the fact that I am black and female. So I know that I'd have to work 10 times harder than the average or somebody else who's doing, you know, whatever's actually, a lot of the time it's like what's trending as well. So yeah, I feel like there's challenges with being a certain way as well, being black or being sexual, or, you know, having to sell myself in a different way rather than just naturally standing there and singing. So I've had to navigate myself through that. When I was 20, I released a music video, and at the time it was like sex sells, and that's what I was being told. And so although I didn't have to do it, and when I look back I didn't have to do it, however at the time I felt like that's what I needed to do. I've got a video out, it's currently still out. I won't remove it just because it shows my journey, it shows my growth. And I am in lingerie, and at the time I felt like that was what I wanted to show at the story. I wanted to share that way. And growing up, looking back, speaking to my parents, they both asked me, Do you feel like that you want to do that? If you want to do it, then we will support you. They're never really against what I do. They will actually advise me, and then they'll let me do and make my own decisions. But looking back, I didn't have to present the video that way. But at the time, I was told, or not told, but like, you kind of, advised, that's what I'm looking for. You're advised to do a little bit more. So, and that's what I felt I had to do. And so I just feel like there's challenges. I've not necessarily faced them like, no, you're black, you can't. It's not that yet. I've heard other people say that they've experienced things like that, but me directly, no, I haven't experienced that yet. Or hopefully I never get to. So
Do you think there's a broader conversation to be had about the safety of street performers or how they're treated by sometimes members of the public?
Yeah, so I would say like just in general, I think there needs to be a conversation about street performers, maybe even sharing tips with each other, those that have been doing it longer, because I've only been doing it about 7 months, and in the space of that time I've had quite a lot of interactions where I'm either being bothered or it's just uncomfortable situations that you just wouldn't want. I do feel like there needs to be, again, we're not being asked to be there, however we are there, and we also need to be noticed for that. And another reason why I started doing it is because in our community, in my community, they see busking as a form of begging, and they don't give it as much props as it actually needs, or as it actually should have, because it's a very scary thing to do. It's a very, very scary. Even, again, 7 months in, I'm like, oh my gosh, do I go home? I'm so scared today. I feel really anxious doing this. And I feel like for someone to stand there, it takes a lot of courage to do. And I encourage other people to do it. When they see me, they want to sing, I'll give them the mic. Because to have that courage, it's just great to just stand there and, do something you love or do something you enjoy. So I just feel like there needs to be definitely a bigger conversation on like maybe having more care for those that are standing there. Because I feel like from a young age, I mean, I've seen buskers from young, and as a child I've loved music anyway, so I'll stop and look. Some people don't pay them any mind, some people find them annoying, and it's just one of those things that's like, someone's just trying to put themselves out there at the end of the day. They're probably just, I don't know, just wanted to try it out. Maybe they're just there for the first time, but just to acknowledge that they're there and count them as a part of society, I guess, because I feel like I'm not, what was I going to say? So I just don't feel like sometimes we are acknowledged for what we're doing, basically. And I just feel like, there may be just a broader conversation about that, for sure.
So, Saffron, I'm curious, when you posted this clip online, what was the response that you got?
So it was a little bit of everything. It started off quite positive, women, I think a lot of women were like, yes, girls, and wow, great response. And then it dipped into a bit of like, negativity, more so about the fact that I'd said he'd non-verbal. They was speculating if he had a disability. Then it started to become a little bit worse, where it was just like aimed at me, and I was attention seeking, and I was trying to push a narrative of men against women, and also like they was trying to paint a picture where I was being mean, and I don't know how, and I was being the most politest I could be in that situation. But like I say, even I think it's been at least 3 weeks, maybe 4, nearly, that I posted it, and people are still commenting their views and opinions, of course. Now I'm just seeing a lot of negative comments. There's just a lot of people just giving their opinions negatively.
So have you experienced anything like this before when you've posted content online? So in the past, I think last year, March, I was in a TV show on ITV2, Loaded in Paradise, where the game show was quite fun. We was running around Greece, basically, long story short, basically trying to win this prize. We had to run away with the card or cash or whatnot. It was a really fun game to play. I was with my best friend. We was the only 2 black women on the show, and from that we gained a lot of attraction. There was a little situation that had happened with 2 other females on there, and there was like a heated moment, and a lot of people turned it into a black against white thing, or we was being aggressive to them, and
I promise you, I generally wasn't. I am someone who's quite direct and forward thinking and forward speaking even. I get that from my mum. She's very like, you know, this is what it is, this is what it is. It's very black and white. And so yeah, I'm just like that. And on the show, I'd voiced my opinion. I said like, you know, why did you do that? It felt really fake. And I just basically said what I thought. And because of that, and because of me being outspoken, I was targeted in my DMs, and some people was commenting on my stuff and saying things about me, about my colour for no reason. It just, you know, it just became something that it wasn't, you know. So yeah, people can be very negative, very harsh. Yeah. But again, don't let it stop you from being who you are, and don't let them steer the narrative, because if you're not, you know, you're not doing anything bad. Everyone's allowed to say what they think. So, you know, you can't hate them for thinking or feeling the way they do. But just as long as you continue to be positive and just be yourself, then you just got to ignore them. Yeah, That's what I've learned. I've started to just not look at my comments, because sometimes it's good. But then when I've caught it, sometimes it's like, oh, I'm gonna say something right now. And it's just like, there's no need for that energy. Just let them think what they think. We can't really change what people think. So.
Yeah, just carry on with the productive and positive stuff.
Yeah.
Great message.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so Saffron, just a final question. If somebody's out there and they're listening to this, maybe they've seen the clip of the video that you put out there, and they're interested in busking, they've been thinking about giving it a go, and maybe they're feeling a little bit scared now, maybe they're thinking twice about it, what would you say to them?
So I would say just absolutely do it anyway. Like I said, look at the camera. I experienced anxiety myself. I've experienced it for many years, and that is the reason why I started the motto, I didn't start it, but you know, I started moving with it. Be scared and do it anyway, because the best thing to do is to move with fear, and you'll grow and you'll feel better anyway. So if you are thinking of starting busking, if you starting any type of career in music, just putting yourself out there, don't let fear stop you, because you'll be unstoppable when you go through different situations. I mean, not to say I'm unstoppable yet, but I'm on the way. And it's just that, you know, situations like this make me feel stronger. It make me feel like I want to do more and help other people. And, you know, maybe that will push you as well to do and feel that way. So I wish you all the best, and yeah, good luck.
It's been lovely talking to you, and thank you so much for coming in and sharing your experience.
Thanks for having me, honestly.
And, you know, wish you really well with your career in music and singing, and you know, I'd like to say to, you know, anybody out there that if anybody has this experience, or if anybody's stepped in when they've seen something happening, you know, please do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear about your experiences.
You can never have one up on me. Think twice before you have a try, honey. Don't want you to put your hands on me. Don't ever put your hands on me. I'm too precious, I'm too clean. Whoa. You can't give me what I need, so can you just